Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I am so pleased to be here with you tonight. It is time for Thursday night stamping, and I have a fun fold for you. I think you're going to love it as much as I do. I'm going to grab my chamois while everybody's gathering here. Make sure that I can clean my stamps as I go. So I trust you're having a good day today. It is actually raining here, which is always a good thing. Although in San Antonio, we tend to have feast or famine. We either have like flooding or we have nothing, and not a lot in between. But having said that, we're having kind of steady rains right now. And that's a very welcome thing. Hey, Kim, I'm glad you're here with me tonight. We are going to be doing a fun fold, and I think you're going to like it. Let's see. Gathering up my blocks and everything. There's a lot going on in the world of Stampin' Up, and I am so pleased to be part of it. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to use a different green ink pad. Let's see. Okay. So let me show you what's what. We are going to do this tri-fold hidden door. This is actually part of my stamp club this month. Candy's Card Club is a monthly subscription, or you can do a single month. And in the kit, we make 8 cards, and you get a lot of Stampin' Up! Goodies. And the neat thing about Card Club is you have the ability to acquire some of the newest Stampin' Up! Supplies and really do it in a budget-friendly way so that you get a fun little package at your mailbox each month. So it's a really good way to, kind of grow your supplies on a budget and learn to use them along the way. So I'm just making sure there I am. Okay. Yay. Okay, Kathy's here and Kim's here. I could see Kim in my phone, but I didn't see Kathy. Thank you very much for sharing. I appreciate that. Now, let me just turn on another light to see. Does that give me a little less shadow? No, I think it makes it worse. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, it is what it is, and I think you can see sufficiently. So I do have my measurements written out to be a help to you. So let me show you the cards that we're making in Card Club, and then I'll show you the one I'm going to demonstrate for you tonight. And I've given you just the bare bones measurements here, but I knew you would want them. And so everything beyond this is kind of fancying it up and embellishing it. So let's see. Hey, Kathy, I'm so glad that you enjoy Card Club. Now, this is the way it opens. And this is the little hidden door, which I think is just so fun. This is a great card to have in your repertoire to give you a really cool fun fold that's going to give you a lot of wow factor. And it's just when you just want to write a little message. I confess, if I have a lot of space, I'm going to write a lot. And it takes a lot of time. It is good. It's meaningful. So I'm not making apologies for it. But when I'm in a hurry or when I need just a little something to say, this is a great one to have. So this is my other version for Card Club. And again, you can see where the little hidden door is. This is also just a great way to showcase our beautiful designer series paper. So let me go through the one I'm going to do a still different one to give you lots of different variations on the theme. So this is the one I did earlier, and I really like the way this came out with just different patterns of this paper. This is the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper, which is just super, super fun to use. and I am featuring it in Candy's Card Club. So you get a half a pack this month. And Card Club runs, registration runs through the 12th. Okay, let's get to scoring and folding and all of that good stuff. Okay, so I specifically wanted to score with you on camera so that you could see how it goes. Now, this is a 6 3/4 by 5.5 piece of designer of cardstock. This is Timid Tiger, and you are going to score it at 4 1/4. Now, the nice thing about this is you can still get 2 of these out of a single piece of cardstock. So you're still getting 2 card bases out of a single piece. Now, here comes the fun. This piece is 4 1/2 by 10 1/4. And I am going to score it using, this is my Simply Scored tool. Once again, to show you, this is a fine tip or a skinny tip, and this is a fat tip. I actually have it backwards. And that actually helps you. The thinner tip is to score your cardstock, and the fatter tip is to score your designer series paper. This is thinner, and you do not want it to cut through on you, and it will sometimes. So I don't have my markers in the correct places. So I have 2. I'm going to score it 2, and then I'm going to score it 3, and I'll bring the little sheet back, my little cheat sheet, to you in a minute. And then there's 5 1/2 there, and then there's 7 7/8. That's the kind of funky number there. Okay, so that's all my scoring done and dusted. Now, couple of things. I am going to go ahead and fold everything to the inside, even though some of these I'm going to fold again to the opposite direction. Let me get these all here. And here we go. Now, this is an interesting pattern. I love the pattern. The back side is very strong with the Secret C, but which you wouldn't think goes with this, but they've picked up Secret C on the deep part of these blackberries, and I like it. So, there we go. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We had the grandchildren that live here in San Antonio at present. We had them over late afternoon. They came for a swim at our neighborhood pool, and that's always fun. So when they came back to the house to have something to eat, they had a lot of their energy had already been used up, which is a good thing. Hey, Corinne, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so once again, this is Timid Tiger. And this is from the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. Now, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little piece here. This is not in my measurements because the measurements give you kind of the skeleton, the card base, and the Designer Series paper. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of embellishment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a little bit of some images on here, kind of like I did on this one. Now, on the ones we're doing for Card Club, I dry embossed this with the eyelet embossing folder. So there's a lot of different ways that you can, kind of gussy up this card, this fun fold card design. So we're going to just random stamp, and I'm actually stamping. You see how this is going to work. Oh yeah. This is actually, I'm stamping with soft sea foam onto Old Olive. If I stamp an Old Olive, it's going to be really strong, and I didn't want it that strong. I wanted this to be subtle, and I'm actually taking, there's a little, like a floral branch, like a tall, skinny bloom, and there's also this really cool, looks to me like a rosemary, not a shrub, a rosemary sprig. So I'm just wanting to have a little bit of, I guess, interest, but nothing too strong. Now I'm going going to come behind here and just give this a light little wipe in case I got any ink there. Don't think I did, but you never know. And let's see, did I do that? I think I need to do it, yes, on this other little panel here. This is 5 1/4 by 4. This is 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. So it's a little bit of a, if it were 2, it would be a little bit easier on your cutting as far as you wouldn't waste as much cardstock, but that's okay. It's a fancy fold. I tend to call these fun folds, but it's pretty fancy too. So there is that. Okay, I'll go one more here. So I am heading next week. I leave on Tuesday for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip in Orlando. So I will not be here with you live on Thursday, but I am going to tape a pre-recorded video for you. So if you come back here next Thursday for Thursday Night Stamping, there will be a pre-recorded video with some new content on it, because I love you and I don't want you to miss out. I will be doing some broadcasting live from Orlando. I will try to give you a heads up when that's going to happen. I may also just put a little something in the stories from time to time. So the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip in at the Grand Floridian in Disney World runs from Tuesday through Sunday. But my husband and I are extending a couple of days, and his sister and brother-in-law his hometown is, I guess, about an hour and a half from Orlando. So they're going to come across and stay with us for a few days. So we're extending our trip. So here I've just taken the card base and I've added a layer to both sides. So again, here's my card base measurements, and there is for my designer series paper. So let's do the designer series paper next. And I am going to want to have it be like this. And like now this is where I need to have this one coming inside. Okay, so I never did get that one done, I don't think. Okay, there we go. So you can see how this is all going to fold up so cute, like so. Now, something that happens here is when you want this to fold and you don't want it to, see how it's kind of, it's a little bit, it's just a hair too long. And so I'm going to shave off just a bit. This is 7 7/8, but to be honest, if it was 7, or this is 10 1/4, 10 1/8 just might work. But I'm a little bit leery on going too much. Yeah, it's still, I might just adjust that measurement a wee bit. So you guys are my guinea pigs on this. Yeah, it is still doing its thing a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Well, phooey. Oh. No, let's see. No, that's right. Huh. I wonder if I scored it in the wrong place. It shouldn't be giving me that much of a problem. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. Well, I think that's probably user error on that one. Thank you for the well wishes for the trip, Kathy. I appreciate that. Now, I know some people do mountains and valleys. I've never understood that. I just know with this, you want this little guy right here to be like, that's like your book spine right there. And you want it to fold like that. So the way I'm going to make that happen is I am going to, first of all, do, let's see if I remember how I did this. Let's see. This is first. Okay, So the first thing I'm going to do is I want this to be right here. And I want to just line that up. But it's hard to see because of the busyness of the paper. So I want it to do this. I want it to open like this. Ah, yes. Okay. So this is going to go right here. And the best way to do that is to run my adhesive right along here. And actually that dark Secret C is pretty easy to see in the light because it is so, so dark. And I'm just going to hold it like so. Line that up. Make sure my fold is right there, and I'm going to press, okay? And then I am going to have that go there, that go there. So now I can take this and put my adhesive right there and just fold it in. And you want that little bit on the side of that fold, and that's kind of where I was trimming it a little bit so that it opens and closes the way you want. And if you're watching this video, it's a good thing we're videoing it because you can go back and forth, okay? So there's my little hidden door. Now comes the fun part. So we are going to put a piece here and a piece here. So this is Timid Tiger, this is Old Olive, and this is Strawberry Slush. And I do really, really like this color combo. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of stamping here. And I'm going to just stamp the greeting. And I like this It's Your Day. This I like because I can make this into a birthday card. I can make this into a congratulations. I can make this into an anniversary. And I do find that when the words are that small, I want to stamp them more than once. And that's just kind of me. So now let's tuck this aside. I'm going to show you a fun way to use the Designer Series paper because we are going to cut one of the, where did my die go? It should be right here. Ah, there we go. I want to cut one of these, and I'm going to cut it out of that Mondrian art looking piece of Designer Series paper. So what I'm going to do is, this is that piece of paper that you might kind of look at it and think, well, what am I going to do with that? Well, with my card club cards, we did a couple of shaker cards, and they are right here somewhere. I will find them possibly before we get off camera. But we used this as a shaker element, and it's a lot of fun. And actually, if you put this here, it almost looks like you have a wine stem here. So based on these colors, I'm thinking that I want to go with this one right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whack this right like so. And instead of having to stamp this, I'm just going to run this through my cut and emboss like so. And it's going to look like my glass is filled up. So let's bring my mini cut and emboss over here. Mini cut and emboss is such a fun little machine to have. Super handy, and when you don't want to get your big one out, or if you're just starting down the road of die cutting, this is a really good way to dip your toe in and see how you like it. And honestly, there's a lot of dies and embossing folders that work with this mini machine. So let's go like so. Come on, baby, there we go. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that perfectly filled wine glass. I love it. And personally, I love these stemless wine glasses. I find them a lot easier to maneuver as I've gotten older. They're also a lot easier to run through the dishwasher, so there's that. Okay, so let's pop that over here so it doesn't get lost. And I am going to pop that right on here like so. Now, something I did not think about is that little bit of white there. I wonder if I put a little bit, let's try a little bit of cloud cover to see. You see how it's not showing up on my white background. So I'm wanting to rectify that. So I'm going to put just a wee bit. Oh, Kathy, yeah, you like the stemless wine glasses too. I'll tell you, they're a lot easier to deal with. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of this. Yeah, I think that's going to give me just a little bit of a look of glass without being too strong. Now, I want it very, very light. Oh, I think that does the trick. I think that does the trick. So all I did was I used my cloud cover marker with my blender pen. So y'all know the cloud cover, the whole story with cloud cover is the ink pads are only available in an as-is condition for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So if you are an active demonstrator, you can purchase one. But you do have to be a demonstrator. And the reason for that is because it's basically a faulty product. And Stampin' Up! Is really, really good about standing behind their products. And it's not that they are willing to sell faulty products, to their demonstrator base. But the demonstrators, we know going into it that it's not up to snuff. And having said that, it's kind of a funky thing. I say it's a faulty product. The ink itself is fine, but it does have a reaction to the firm foam pads that we use. And it's not consistent, so it doesn't always, but oftentimes it will react. And when it does, it gives you an inconsistent, the ink changes. And what you stamp is not, once it dries, and maybe over a little bit of time, it's going to look not the same. It's going to change. And so Stampin' Up's solution to that is for consistency to purchase the ink refill and to use one of our little blank Stampin' spots to ink up your spot and have your mini ink pad. Well, some of us, like me, really, really prefer the full-size pads. So I went ahead and ordered a couple. We cannot sell them, so we can't just take orders for them, but I thought they might make a nice little thank you gift for maybe a few people. And doesn't that look like almost like fruit punch or sangria? I like the look of that. So I'm going to get all of these ready, and then this is a little bit tricky when you put this down. I have a little piece here. So for that, kind of keeping in conjunction with all of the Timid Tiger, I wanted to just fussy cut one of these. Corinne's got a workaround too from Amazon, because the issue is that the material of our firm foam pads is what clashes, or I should say causes the ink to have an inconsistent, it just reacts to it for some reason. And so you need a felt pad, which is what our Stampin' Spots are. But I went ahead and ordered a couple, and like I said, you know, I used one when we were at On Stage and it was fine. But, and I think also it might be a matter of how you are with how consistent you want that ink to be. If there's a little bit of inconsistency, how big is that inconsistency factor, and how much does that bother you? So yeah, I like a mystery. I'm game. I'm happy to give it a try and see what I think, but I'm happy that we do have an option for the ink. And of course the blends are fine. The blends markers are fine, and so is the Stampin' Write marker. Because again, those are not on a firm foam pad, and I'm happy that I can use that with no problem whatsoever. Now, when I do these, I prefer, as much as I love my seal, I do prefer to use my green glue here. And some of these little mocktails, cocktails, punch glasses, some of these you can punch out with your dies. But this one, because of the sprigs coming out, I really needed to, fussy cut it so I'd get all of those little edges in there. Now, I will find it. This, we're going to put another one of these on the inside, and this is where I'm going to write my message. And these little dies, these textured notes dies, they really work well in this. Honestly, anytime you need a rectangle, every size you need is in here. And I'll show you a little trick. I don't know about you, but I have mine stored in, okay, it's, again, hard to see with that busy paper background. This is the way I have mine stored. They are in a, I have a magnet sheet in here. And this is just the way I like to do my dies. But because they're so close together, I kept trying to lift them out, and I just could not, I couldn't get underneath it with my fingernails. So I'm just storing, this is one of my pretty fancy pokey tools, but it's flat enough that I can just store it like that. And then I have that right there to help me pull those out. Okay, so yeah, Corinne also says that she has a problem with the spot drying out quickly. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I like the full-size pad, much prefer. Now, for this, I want this to be able to fly open for me. So when I open this, I need this to be here. Let me show you. I need this to fly out. And so I only want to attach it here on the kind of spine of my book fold, as it were. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my adhesive right along that, that fold. But I only want it to be right there. So I'm going to hold this here, and that's going to help me know where I need to put my adhesive, right along there. You could put dimensionals on here, but a lot of times fun fold cards, I prefer not to, because they already have a lot of heft from the fold itself. So that is going to fly open like that. Super easy, super fun. I will say with a new fun fold like this, I prefer to make a couple of them at once, like right after the other, and just kind of get it, get the vision of it under my belt. Now I am going to put a little bit of embellishment on here. I don't want to put like ribbon and stuff. It's, again, you have a lot going on here with all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these. Now on my card club, we did sequins because we did some shaker cards. And let me see. I think I had them down working on tutorials at my kitchen table. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in some of these sequins. And these are self-adhesive. These are in our online store. And I think I might just use the white ones. I don't know, maybe the yellow ones. Let's see. These are crushed curry, and they might, oh, that's actually kind of cute. What about the I do love these, you know? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the crushed curry. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to do another one up here. And then I'm going to stack these embellishments. And sometimes the sequins, I really love to add a rhinestone to the center. So here I am going to take the smallest rhinestones. Well, my little take your pick is needing a refill, and I haven't sat down long enough to refill it. So there we go. So then I have that, see, I have that little yellow sequin, and then I have that little bit of shine in the center. And then here's another one. And I do have some, I did brush my wine glass with another bit of shine, and that has my Wink of Stella. So even though I don't have ribbon, hey Cynthia, welcome, welcome. I have a fair bit of shine going. And this one turned out pretty soft and sweet. I really like the color combo here. And you can see how it folds out and gives you all those pretty colors. Now, let me just show you my other samples. So here is another one using the floral. This one is using kind of all the fruits. This one is the floral. And then these are the ones that we're doing in Card Club. So again, Card Club registration ends on the 12th. And those are actually typically shipped out by the 20th, and it's going to actually be the 22nd because it's going to have to ship out after I get home. The packets are ready to go, but my paper is on its way, and I couldn't order this paper until, you know, a couple days ago. So it's on its way. These are the ones that we're doing for Card Club, and they're just maybe a wee bit fancier because we did the dry embossing here. And, but I do like kind of seeing lots of options for this trifold hidden door fun fold. I think it's a lot of fun to do and packs a lot of wow factor. Before I love you and leave you, this is the package for Card Club this month. So this is what I mean, that when you're a Card Club member, you kind of amass your supplies a little bit at a time and really kind of build your stash while you learn to use them as well. So my Card Club members are getting a roll of this new gold striped ribbon. This is a new online exclusive that's actually part of this suite. They get a half a pack of this designer series paper, and they give them lots of different ways to use it. A full package of these sequins, because we did make a couple of shaker cards. And then this is a packet that is in process. So each card is prepped and ready to go. Actually, this is one of the fun folds because that is the clear envelope they need for the faux shaker card. So anyway, that's going to have a label on it with a QR code. And then, of course, you get your PDF tutorials and any kind of video attachments that you need to execute the cards. We have 4 fun folds this month and 2 shaker cards and 2 standard cards. Ah, I just found them. Here we go. So here are the shaker cards that we're doing for club. And I did demonstrate these, I think, 2 weeks ago. And then these are the standard cards. And all of this is, you know, all of these die cuts are done for you. And then this has the exposed brick embossing folder. And then this is a really fun one too. This is I call it a pillar fun fold because you have that center pillar. And I really, really like this fun fold. There's your small area to write your message. These are great when you need a lot of wow factor and just want to write just a small message. So I have one of these with a strawberry slush background, and then this one with the bubble bath. What was good about working with this paper is it has all of the new in colors in it, so it kind of orients you excuse me, to working with the new in colors, which I think is very helpful. So these are the 8 cards you make with Candy's Card Club for May. Registration through May 12th only. And oh, Corinne, I'm glad you like that ribbon. It's really fun to work with. This is my demonstration cards for tonight. And this is your bare bones skeleton for creating the tri-fold hidden door. I hope this inspires you to try this fun fold. It's really, really easy to do, has a lot of wow factor, has just enough little space in there to write a sweet message, and really just have fun with it. And it really, this paper is very, very, it's almost designed for this, this particular fun fold, I think. It just really works well with it. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, you can sign up for Candy's Card Club through May the 12th. And I will have a pre-recorded video for you next Thursday. I'm flying out super early on Tuesday morning. I will be posting here on my Sweet Stamper Facebook page pics of me and the hubs and some of our friends and anything else I can share about our Disney World incentive trip. And that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like my page and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching there. I love to hear when you're watching in replay. It just kind of helps me know that I reached a wider audience, and I so appreciate people who can be here with me live because I like chatting with you and interacting with you. But I also am very happy for people who can't be here with me live but still want to get in on the action. So again, tri-fold hidden door, try it. Card Club, try it. And although this is the link to Card Club, if you go to sweetstamper.com, there's a little link. You can just click on Club. It'll take you right to it. Okay, that's it for tonight. I got other things to do, as I'm sure you do. Take care and God bless.